Should you electively have your hardware removed from your lumbar spine? Hardware is used in the lumbar spine to achieve and maintain normal spinal alignment. It also helps increase the probability that the bones will fuse or unite. The fusion of bone goes through 3 stages. The first stage is the inflammatory stage. That's the swelling you get right after surgery, and that's where the body sends all the specialized cells into the area that are going to lead to the healing of the bone. You start initially with a callus of fibrous tissue. In stage 2, which is known as the reparative stage, that fibrous callus begins to calcify into what's known as a soft callus. And the callus stays relatively soft up until about 6 to 8 weeks when we consider it a hard callus. That's when the doctor tells you that essentially you have a fusion of the lumbar spine. The third phase is the remodeling phase. That starts at about 6 to 8 weeks, and that's where the callus bone is subsequently replaced by regular bone. I tell individuals that they can have their instrumentation removed in the future, though we do not recommend it routinely, though if they can, they should wait 2 years. 2 years gives the bone more than enough time to remodel into regular bone, and also by 2 years, most people have forgotten they even have instrumentation in their body, so they have no desire to have it removed. Every now and then I see patients who present with broken rods or screws. Broken rods and screws indicates that normal healing or a normal fusion did not take place and that a non-union or a delayed union has occurred. Once the screw breaks, stress passes across the non-union, the bones are impacted, and many times the bones will go ahead and heal by themselves. That's a difficult concept to understand, so let me give you an example. If an individual breaks his leg, that leg may be fixed by placing a rod down the middle of the leg. In most cases, that bone, that tibia, is going to go ahead and heal uneventfully. In some cases, there's difficulty in healing. You get a delayed union, and in that case, the surgeon is going to tell the patient to walk on the legs. The screw is going to break, the bone edges are going to be impacted, and the bone is going to go ahead and heal. Bone likes stress. That's called Wolff's Law. Once the bone has healed, the instrumentation can be removed. In most cases, we no longer routinely recommend the removal of plates and screws because they are considered inert. In other words, the medical community feels there is no long-term consequence from leaving the instrumentation in the body. If someone has retained hardware in their arm, in their ankle, and they complain of pain long enough, they're going to remove the instrumentation. And in most cases, those patients are very satisfied. In the lumbar spine, if the patient complains of continued lower back pain and the MRI is inconclusive, they get told that there's nothing that can be done. Studies show that most patients that have metal removed from their lumbar spine have very good results and are very satisfied. What are some of the various mechanisms that could produce pain over the lumbar instrumentation? Number 1, mechanical impingement. Prominent hardware, large rods and screws that stick into the muscle. Number 2, tissue rubbing across the screws. Tissue rubbing across the screws can become irritated, and it can even produce a bursa or a sac of fluid. Number 3, stress transfer. A rod is stiffer than bone, and therefore you can get points of stress above and below the rod, which can lead to pain. Number 4, metal corrosion. All metal can corrode. In this instrumentation, you have rods and screws, multiple areas of contact that can have micromotion, and as one piece of metal rubs against another piece of metal, you can get the production of wear debris. With titanium rods, when a loose titanium rod is inside a screw, it produces a very thick, oily substance. Number 5, host immune reaction. Though everyone is going to get some wear debris from the metal rubbing on metal, not everybody is going to react the same to that wear debris. All patients are not the same. In most cases, metal removal can be done minimally invasive as an outpatient. The void where the metal was removed is filled with a mixture of bankbone and stem cells. If they say your lumbar metal can't cause pain, you may not be the one with the screw loose. I hope you found this informative. If you have any other questions or I did not touch upon the topic you wanted to hear about, please write to me at drsmith@elpasospinecenter.com. But the most important thing is, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Tell your friends and neighbors to watch. Thank you.